Alright everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the F123 Driver Cremo with Haas, episode number 6 today for the Spanish Grand Prix. If you missed the previous episode at Monaco, I recommend you go and check that one out before seeing this one, because spoiler, sadly we didn't get the podium, but we did get P4, which was a good amount of healthy points after a disappointing and dismal race at Baku the previous round. Obviously though, we are doing very well, and we've had that front downforce upgrade come in, but we can't do anything else on the aero until this wing mirror one comes in. So, you know, we're pretty much left with ERS, which I do want to get on because, you know, even though we've got the fastest car, the fastest engine overall, I do feel that we do need that in the RS upgrade. We're also going to put a major weight reduction upgrade on as well. That's not going to come in until Austria as well, but it is going to unlock quite a few things. So, you know, just thought that rather than waiting for discounts to come on that, we'll just get it on as soon as possible as well. But, you know, that major front downforce upgrade has taken us a lot closer to Mercedes. Mercedes have not had produced an upgrade since Baku, and have slumped to 4th place now. Aston Martin have overtaken them, as have Ferrari and Red Bull. And I don't quite like what's happening with with R&D. So I put in the previous episode I put the resource rate up to increase. I do have a concern about this, but I think that the AI just aren't upgrading fast enough compared to what I can do. It's a bit stupid, really, considering the fact that they should really not be doing that. I put it on decreased originally to try and stop them ending up with 68 million resource points in the latter seasons. Because I think that's what we had. I think we had like 41,000 resource points, you know. And when it comes to a regulation change, that's the problem, you know, because you're maxed out. When it comes to a regulation change, you can upgrade all your parts, especially on this year's game, because you're getting resource points off left, right and centre. But yeah, that's enough about moaning about that. Into qualifying then for the Spanish Grand Prix. Turn 1 wasn't quite the gaining quite as much time as I wanted to down the straight, but we do gain it back in Turn 1. At the end of the first sector, though, we are tempting a bit down on Russell, but it's not too bad. We're still P7. Spain is actually an okay track. He never used to be a good track for me, but F122 was actually surprisingly a good track for me. A frustrating track to drive sometimes when you get stuck, but I'm hoping that the changes they've made to that final corner, penultimate corner, is going to work wonders for us as well. But we'll have to wait and see about that, because obviously DRS is very overpowered on this game compared to F122 as well. We're slightly down on Russell through the middle sector. Norris puts in a seventh place one. Here's the new bit. It's not flat, but there's this lift off in the final corner. You can go fully flat through the penultimate one. We have made though 3.5 tenths. I think we use that purple final sector or something, and it's P6. You know, ahead of George Russell, only 2 tenths down. And, you know, this was on the same AI that we had in Monaco 98. So I decided for this episode to put the AI up to 99, which is the highest AI I've run since an Italian Grand Prix F1 2020, I think. Don't quote me on that. Hamilton gets a 5-place penalty for blocking. I apologise, I don't have a replay of that because there are no replay cameras in qualifying. So yeah, well, we'll have to wait and see. We're in a good chance to get some decent spots. So we'll see what we can do. It's time for the race.
Circuit of Barcelona Catalunya has been on the calendar for over 30 years now, and it has served up some classics. Michael Schumacher's first win for Ferrari in 1996 in the rain. We have much better weather here today for the Spanish Grand Prix. The Circuit of Barcelona Catalunya runs to 2.9 miles. It's a heady mix of high and low speed corners. Look out for the high downforce arc of turn 3, the 2 DRS zones, and the chicane at turns 14 and 15. It's time to take a look at our starting grid for today's race. World champion Max Verstappen starts from pole position. A very happy Carlos Sainz will start second. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Leclerc, Perez, Fernando Alonso, Phoenix, Russell, Norris, Gasly, Joe, Magnussen, Bottas, Tsunoda, Oscar Piastri, Stroll, Ocon, Albon, Sargent, De Vries, and Lewis Hamilton rounds off the grid. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track. And we welcome Natalie Pinkham to the comment box once again. Nats, no weather issues to worry about. It is dry and glorious out there. Everyone can focus on the racing.
Well, the regulations aren't new anymore, but the teams and the drivers are still coming to terms with them. I firmly believe it's also track specific. We've seen some wheel-to-wheel racing throughout the year. Some tracks lend themselves better to it than others. I'd like to see it at every race in the whole season. Is that too much to ask?
After the points finished last race, let's aim to keep that momentum going.
Interesting take there by Natalie Pinkham on the new regulations. Let me know what you think in the comments below about that. But yeah, race strategy. Soft tyres are involved. I know. Around Spain, this used to be hard tyre heaven. You know, but it seems that we can get away with a soft medium. I'm a bit wary about this, but a lot of people are doing soft, so I'm thinking that we're going to play it safe. We're going to go mediums. If we can pick, gives us the option to go to hards later in the race. So yeah, 5 red lights then for the Spanish Grand Prix, and away we go. And it's an okay start as well. Someone's side by side. I think that's Norris is on our inside there. Trying to have a look at the Aston. The Aston moves down the inside. It's not Norris, it's Russell. Russell's actually gone through on us as well, but can we get the move back? That's where you see we've gone a bit wide through that long right-hander down to turn 3, the end of the first sector. Around the outside of Russell, I'm going to look there. Can we get past him? No. Can we switch it to the outside? Yes, we can. Alongside Russell, Russell breaks early. We also have a look at Alonso there, but Alonso that keeps his foot, and I get a bit of a back-end twitch. But it's a lovely little move there in the middle sector. To switch it from left to right there and go around the outside and brake a bit later as we pinch Russell to the apex, and we're back up to P6 as well. But for how much longer? A little bit wide through the final corner. Compromise line. Russell there is side by side. We do have the fastest engine, but can we use it? But you know, downforce and Sashi is going to let us down in a straight line as well. As we have a little bit of contact with him. I think Norris was up our inside as well. Get a replay. He is on board with Lando. He tried to go down the inside of Russell. Bear in mind that, of course, there's 3 wide, but then you know, he obviously had to take a tight angle there on the exit of turn 1. And Gasly did have a go in, but Norris is okay now. DRS though is now enabled, so the fun and games start to begin because, well, you're about to see what's going to happen. End of lap 3, we try to defend using a bit of DRS. Completely and utterly pointless, because DRS is so overpowered. This needs to have a fix as well. And some of the, I know the Zandvoort DRS zone needs to be fixed. It actually takes me to lap 5 to get in a position where I can actually challenge Russell again, even though we've got DRS. So perhaps it's a bit more Sashi side and aero side we need to focus on, that's sort of delaying, restricting the top speed that we have with the power unit. But it's a comfortable move on Russell in the end. We're back up to P6. There's up ahead we have Alonso versus Perez. The locals will like this because Alonso's going to move ahead of Perez and up to P4. We've not seen much of Alonso in this career mode. As we go now, the fun and games begin. We're giving Russell DRS pretty much every lap. As well, we've got to be careful not to let Norris pie, but you know, because this is, especially down this straight, I think Imola's going to be worse, because Imola, we always used to play these games on F122. I haven't done Imola, a race around Imola yet on F123 to take to the comparison, but I believe it's going to be probably problematic, as our teammate is also having a go at Lando Norris. Can't quite do that, but he does get Pierre Gasly, so I'm hoping we can get K-Mag up the order a bit. You know, he had a good race in Baku, but a bit of a mediocre one in Monaco. Moving to lap number 8 then, we've let Russell past again. Russell goes defensive to try and block Norris off, because Norris also has DRS. And that McLaren has, I think, better straight line speed than us. But yeah, the same thing obviously with letting Russell back get in front again on lap number 9. But this time it's just an easy, we're not even half down the straight and we're past him. Yeah, this, I think DRS needs to be stripped back, especially, you know, when we start upgrading DRS as well. That is going to be absolutely catastrophic. You know, everybody, whoever doesn't have DRS is going to be a sitting duck when we come to maxed out cars. As well as Magnussen there was having a go getting past Lando Norris, and now he's having a go at George Russell, but Russell pinches him to the outside and squeezes back through. I want K-Mag to be in front of Russell, because then we got the same car. You know, I think we can start pulling away. Meanwhile, at the front, it's Carlos Sainz who leads his way. The locals will be happy about that, as Verstappen holds on for now against Leclerc. As back to our POV, we've let Russell through, but there's contact with Russell as he hit us, and that's cost him his line. We're still side by side actually. I mean, you know, we're just going to open the DRS. We're squeezing him to the inside. Hopefully Magnussen is able to get past this time as well. Because if K-Mag gets past, as I said, we feel I can stretch away. And Magnussen does not get past as we overtake Russell on lap 14 again. But now he does get past. Magnussen on the inside. We're not going to give Magnussen the room on the inside. I want to cut him off. We retain P4 for now. But at this point, I did actually consider a pit stop, but decided against it. Lap 18, as everyone made their pit stops, we actually lead, and let Carlos Sainz pass. We try and squeeze Verstappen. Sainz on the Ferrari strategy though of Haas. We're going to let Leclerc pass as well and let them gang up on each other and sort of hold up Perez a little bit as well, which is going to help Leclerc and Ferrari out there. And as we come into the pits in the lap number 19, left rear 63%. So these tyres, you know, it's actually not too bad for tyre wear at Spain. You know, I thought, you know, we would be doing medium hard definitely. But this maybe, you know, there's a bit of a glitch or not realistic really. I don't know. Let me know what you think about that in the comments below. 2.3 second stop as we're going to come out. Oh, this is backfired. Going to come out in P. Well, can we come out ahead of Joe? Well, he's there on the outside. We're going to try and force it through on the outside this corner. Yes, we can. Up to P14, but that is a disaster. And it's also a disaster for Ferrari, because Verstappen now has DRS, and Verstappen has overtaken Sainz after losing the lead earlier on the better tyre as well. We've set a purple middle sector stuck behind Yuki Tsunoda, who's on hard tyres as well, and it's an easy past Yuki up to P12. Next up is Oscar Piastri round the outside the middle sector. No, Piastri cuts in front, but can we get in front? The Australian, of course, he'll want to try and slow us down because Norris is up the road. There's plenty of time to get in, but we have made a lovely little move there, just on that little corner there. This isn't really an overtaking zone. You've got to watch that Soch's curb as well, really, to make sure that you don't run over them. I'm sure give you floor damage. And then Alex Albon, well, the Williams hasn't had its upgrade yet to be a rocket ship in a straight line, so therefore we're able to blast past and up to P11. Up the road though, this is the two we're catching, and it's Norris versus Magnussen, and those two are just carried on the battle they were doing before. Magnussen unable to keep in front of Russell, but they are hugely battling. We move to the middle sector. Magnussen is back ahead now of Norris. Can we get both of them here with DRS down the inside of Magnussen as well at turn 10? As well, Magnussen yields the position. He knows there's no argument with the soft tyre compared to the medium. We're up to P9. We're back in the points now. as well. And Magnussen and Norris are just going to carry on, and they've been fighting so much that Piastri, there was a 5-second gap. Piastri's caught them up, so this could be becoming more than just a two-way fight between the two. And actual fact, there's Piastri overtaking Norris as well. So Lando will not be happy about this. He's been battling Magnussen for the entire race for P10, and he's now lost out P11 to Piastri, as we are going to overtake Gasly, who pit earlier out of that DRS train, and that's how he managed to undercut. The same with Hamilton, but Mercedes has better tyre wear, which is how Hamilton also managed to jump. He was cleared the traffic starting P20, was able to get past us. Piastri down the inside of Magnussen, and then it's going to turn the outside back to the inside with the nature of the circuit, and Piastri's the one that's going to get that final point in his first points in Formula 1. Meanwhile for us, Verstappen's won and back to his winning ways after missing out in both Baku and Monaco. We've managed to force out Gasly in the second DRS zone, and we're just going to come through. Should be able to have enough on the Frenchman in the AlphaTauri, sorry, not the AlphaTauri anymore, the Alpine, excuse me, up to the line for P8. Could have been P6, but the Mercedes had some very good pace today. Obviously they decided to pit a bit early, both of their cars, and it was a great strategy from them. Get them out that DRS zone and just get them into the free air, on cleaner tyres as well, because that is the OP strategy. Perhaps maybe the overcut strategy isn't really advantage anymore, but we did have the fresher tyres at the end. Should help, so... as long as you got the pace, you can make a two-stop. I think you could have made a two-stop work. Obviously, you didn't want to do it today because the tyres are soft enough around here, which I think maybe needs a patch or something. But let me know about that. In terms of the drivers, we're still in with the Shoutin P9. We're still P4 in the constructors, but Aston Martin, of course, move up. Although because Magnussen didn't score. Obviously we got outscored by Aston today, and Aston really are the team that we're now fighting against, because McLaren have sort of dropped off, although it was Piastri getting his first points. We'll have to see if McLaren can bounce back. Obviously we have some performance against Aston Martin in some of the areas like engine, a little bit on aero, although Aston Martin there, but obviously they put the better Sashi as well. Alonso's now started to string some performances together, 2 places in a row. Yes, we beat him with 4th place in Monaco, but 8th place here in Spain. We'll have to wait and see what we can do in Canada, whether that will be a better track for Haas and ourselves. That episode will be out later in the week as well. And then we'll have a look at R&D. We've got 2,500 resource points to spend. So we need to, as I say, Sashi will still be the priority for now, but obviously it's a bit restricting what's locked at this moment in time, and what the AI will do. We'll have to wait and see. But for Verstappen, I mean, it's like real life. 4 of the 6 races won so far. At least another team other than Red Bull has won a race in this career mode, because let me know how Verstappen is getting on in your career mode in the comments below. Is he dominating like he has done in mine and in real life? But yes, that's where I'm going to leave it today's episode. If you have enjoyed, leave a like, subscribe if you're new to the channel. See plenty more F123 driver career mode videos as and when they come out. Until the next video then, I'll see you next time. Take care, enjoy your day, and goodbye.